Tristan Law Show. If it's your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Tristan Law, Semi-Tide Pro Wrestling. Today, I'm your host. WrestleMania? Is WrestleMania broken? WrestleMania doesn't need meetings to sell tickets. WrestleMania is one of those things that's just supposed to sell itself like free food. But last week, allegedly, rumor and innuendo, on February 11th, WWE held an internal meeting about ticket sales for the WrestleMania 42 at Allegiant Stadium, the second time that they're going to be in Las Vegas back-to-back. Now, the meeting was not about creative. The meeting was not about injuries. It was about ticket sales. About 30,000 tickets per night have been sold so far. Last year at this stage, they were closer to 44,000. Prices right now for WrestleMania 42 are holding firm with a temporary 25% discount. So if you want your tickets at a 25% discount, go get them now. Watch parties within 50 miles, restricted. Not happening in Las Vegas. That's panic. Well, it's not really panic, but it's really not nothing either, because WrestleMania used to feel inevitable. So here's the real question. Is this just a normal slowdown? Or is WrestleMania no longer automatic? What's going on, Stu? What's going on, Fernando? Thank you guys for joining. Couldn't be here yesterday. Got some things going on, trying to make some changes in the life. To make a better show. So, thank you guys for hanging out with me on Saturday. It's Valentine's Day today. And if you don't have anybody that you can have a Valentine's Day with today, we're going to say this. At least we're here together today. And that's all that matters. And we're going to be talking about what we love, and that's wrestling. Yeah! So let's look at one of the things about WrestleMania that I think about, right? When you look at like Vegas this year, let's look at even Vegas last year, and let's look at even Philly the year before. WrestleMania XL, WrestleMania 40, it was the Northeast market. It was that the Northeast market is saturated with people. When it was Philadelphia, you had people from New York, you had people from Jersey, you got people from Pennsylvania, you can even get people from Northern Virginia to show up. It's not that far. It's not that far. Hold on. I just seen the chat. Fernando says, I have to meet my daughter's first boyfriend later today. And he put laughing faces. Fernando, I have a son, so I don't know what that's like. So we want you to report back. Fernando, are those tears of joy or tears of like, you're sad because she's growing up? I know that you live in Florida. Florida's one of those states to where you can carry without a permit. Do you have a carry? Right? Because you might have to clean it in front of this first boyfriend and count the bullets and let him know that bullets are not cheap. That's what we do here for the family. Stu says, Fern got kids. I didn't think you was that old. Hey, look, man, you can have kids as old as 15, all right? As old as 15. All right, Stu, so don't be a hater on that. No, I'm just kidding. Fernando says that Mania used to sell out quick. It used to sell out quick. The tickets are too high. Lower them now. Yeah! But yeah, just like Fernando just put in, there's no Cena finishing the story this year. Right? And there's no Cody Rhodes trying to finish the story. You're in a market where you don't have the easy drive, right? Where people really easy drive from. Las Vegas is really in the middle of the desert. And not having that easy drive, not having that John Cena story, not having the Cody Rhodes story, not having the white hot bloodline climax. When you look at Vegas, you got to pay for a flight. Right? You can't walk there. Let's say you do drive there. You're going to need someplace to sleep, right? So you got to get a hotel. When I was looking to go to WrestleMania 41, I said, let me look at a hotel. All the cheap hotels, like so Let me see if I can find a picture. I want to get a picture of so I can illustrate this, because you guys don't really understand how crazy it is. Okay, so I'm looking, if you're looking at a map of Allegiant Stadium, right? Allegiant Stadium is close to the airport. That's great. That's great that it's close to the airport, but it's still way off the strip, right? There's a lot of casinos and everything else out there. And for you to get around Las Vegas by taking an Uber, it looks like there's no short trips in Las Vegas. So now you got to play premium pricing, and now you're making a decision to go on vacation. Like, WrestleMania is money. Going to Vegas is a huge expense. 10 years ago, WrestleMania 32 in Dallas, tickets were on sale from the lowest end, from the Cheapo Supremo, $18. Cheapo Supremo, you could buy tickets going into WrestleMania 32 in Dallas for $18. But if you want to buy them Richie Rich tickets, you want to sit front row because you want a Roman Reigns to sweat on you, those tickets are only $1,180. $1,180. You know what? That's really not a lot of money, and you're only asking me for one night? Okay, so I'll buy $1,000 in a hotel, and I'll probably spend, maybe going to Dallas from New York, I'd probably spend another $300 on tickets, and then for me to stay there for at least one night, let's say I get there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, leave Monday, so you need 3 days, 4 nights, I could probably see myself paying maybe $2,000 to go to WrestleMania 32. That's just me freestyling off the top of my head. 5 years ago. 5 years ago at WrestleMania 37 in Tampa. The first one after COVID. Tickets were on sale from $32 to $2,500 to $2,500. That's not that big of a jump, right? That's not too big of a jump. Still gotta get your hotel, right? You still gotta get a car to drive around because there's no real walking places in Tampa. But let's look at WrestleMania 42. WrestleMania 42, the one that is happening in 63 days from now. The prices range from $200, which is not bad, that's for you to sit in the nosebleed, to $9,000. $9,000? You know how much booty cheeks got to be busted open for $9,000 to go sit at WrestleMania? And I'm not sure if that's a one-night, two-night tickets. That was just off the research I did earlier. Yeah! But $9,000? Let's say it's even a two-night combo. So you're telling me that I'm going to pay $4,500 to sit at WrestleMania for one night? Oh, and you get to take the chair home. You get to take the chair home. Now, because of that meeting that they had, if you buy a ticket between now and February 15th, you can save 25% off. Get more information at WWE.com or Ticketmaster.com. Look, I'm not a shill for the WWE. I don't work for the WWE or Ticketmaster, but I'm like, yo, hey, look, I see a deal that you guys can take advantage of. Go take advantage of the deal. If you really want to go to WrestleMania 42 and you feel that the prices are too high, maybe that 25% discount will work for you. Let's do some math because I love some math. So let's say you buy that cheap ticket. Let me see if I can do this in my head. A $200 ticket would be $150. A $9,000 ticket, that's too much in my head. $9,000 ticket, let's do that math, works out to, I don't know, about $6,000. All right, that's not too bad for 2 nights. That's on the those ticket prices are outrageous. Let's look at the chat. Fernandez says blocking the Mania watch parties in Vegas is shady business by the WWE. Yeah. Stu says, oh yeah, they blocked bars from buying and showing the pay-per-view. So lame.
Thank you.
Stu says BDE said he bought a Rumble ticket last year and it was $20,000. Ain't not buying that. No, bro, let me tell you something. WWE has the the on-demand, the VIP tickets. And if you want to buy a VIP ticket to WrestleMania in Las Vegas, the lowest price that you can pay, this is for a ticket package now. This is for a whole entire ticket. This is not just the ticket to go in, it's a package. For the package, you can get, you're just there for one day, just one night. You get to go to you sit in the premium seating area. You get the Friday kickoff party at Area 15 with live Q&A with Cody Rhodes, live Q&A with Rhea Ripley, and WWE superstar appearances. You get a 4-day, not one, not two, not three, but 4-day priority pass WWE to WWE World and Superstore access, and you get a dedicated priority pass entrance to Allegiant Stadium, WWE World, and WWE Superstore. Honestly, and there's more details. And you get credentials. You get WWE credentials and a lanyard, and you get a professional on-location, on-site support staff. Price is $1,255. So I'm going to pay that much. I don't get a hotel. You still got to sleep in the street. You still got to get there, right? And you're just there for one night. Okay, so where am I sitting? You know what? For poops and giggles, I want to see where I can sit. Oh, you're sitting in the 100. You're sitting in the 100. No. And if you're sitting in the 200 section for that price. Or you could sit in the 102 section, which is $1,290. It's $1,290. But where you're sitting is that the stage where they come out is way over there. And where you at is way over here, right? The ring is way up there and you're way up top. So I'm paying that much just to sit in the upper bowl. I don't know about that. I'm just going to skip all the way. Actually, no, let me do it fair. You can get, if you want to go for both nights, it's only an extra, doing the math quickly off my head, it's like $200 some odd to go sit at WrestleMania 42, right? $1,505, that's the price. You get the 2-day premium seating, you get the kickoff party with Rhea Ripley, you get all that other stuff, and let me see if they sit you in someplace different. They don't sit you anyplace different, they sit you higher. They sit you higher up in the bowl. I can't see the chat right now, I'm about to come back and see the chat in a little bit. I mean, you could sit, almost in the lower bowl, but that's going to cost you $4,000. $4,000, Jesus, Mary Joseph. The most expensive ticket that you can get, you're going to get the specialty experience from WWE on location. Let me tell you what you get. You're going to get an elite experience. You get the ticket and the priority pass. You get a 2-day premium row 2 floor seating, on stage and in-ring photo op at WrestleMania 42. You get to take a picture on the ramp and in the ring like you're a WWE superstar. Not only do you get to take a picture, you get to walk out. You get to walk down on the WrestleMania stage. You get to also meet Liv Morgan. And you get a reserved section at the Friday kickoff party at Area 15. You get a 5-day, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but a 5-day VIP WWE World ticket with priority pass, fast lane access. Y'all don't even want to know how much that costs. I'm not even going to tell you how much that cost. Bruh, I'm not, I'm going to tell you how much it costs, and I'm going to come back to the chat and see what y'all talking about. $3,700. No, maybe I did it right. Maybe I did it wrong. $37,500. Oh, hold on. Wait. What you can do, if you don't want to spend $37,000, $37,000? Bruh. If you don't want to spend $37,000, may I interest you in this? The Undertaker Suite. You get 2-night ticket access suite. You get 2-day premium seating suite. You get to see the Undertaker. He just gets to come out there and hang out. You get all-inclusive premium food and beverage. You get Friday kickoff party access at Area 15 with the live Q&A with Cody Rhodes and Rhea Ripley and other WWE Superstars appearances. You get that 4-day Priority Pass access in World Superstore. And you get exclusive Undertaker-themed gifting. And it's only going to cost you $8,500. Let me tell you this, looking at them ticket prices, I'm sorry if your kids are listening for what I'm about to say, but I don't know about y'all, but I'm keeping my black ass home. I am not going to go spend that much money to go watch WrestleMania. Look, in case you guys haven't figured it out, I love wrestling. I love wrestling a lot, so much that I took my money, not yours, not my mother's, not my father's, not my brother's. I took my money and went to go give it to Bubba Ray Dudley, Devon Dudley, Nunzio, and a bunch of other people and said, hey, teach me how to wrestle. I love wrestling. I love wrestling so much that I enjoyed wrestling in front of a live audience so much that I don't do drugs. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not addicted to anything. The only thing I'm addicted to, I can say, is the reaction from the fans. But Brian, I'm not there to spend that much money and go watch wrestling. Let's go to the chat. Fernando says $20,000 is insane. He says it's also crazy. Stu says he's looking. Okay, Stu's looking. Stu's doing his research. Let's see what Stu has found. And if it's your first time here, and you're just watching, come up in the chat. Come say what you got to say. It's a safe space. Hit that subscribe. Say whatever you want to say, as long as you're not racist, sexist, homophobic, or just a terrible person. Come on in and voice your opinion on how you feel. And make sure you vote on the poll. Darn, I said poll. Survey. I'm asking, what is the real reason, in your opinion, why WrestleMania 42 ticket sales are slow right now? Right? Is it because there's no must-see event? Is it because ticket prices are too high? Is it because of the travel economy and the cost to be in Las Vegas? Or is WrestleMania hype just not automatic anymore? Let me know. Okay, let's go to the chat. Stu, he's doing some research. He said he's looking at seats right now. Section A4, row 2 seats. I'm going to be fair, and I'm going to go to Ticketmaster, and I want to see where Stu is talking about, okay? I want to see where Stu is talking about. Stu said, and he hasn't specified, I haven't looked yet, whether it's 1 night or 2 night tickets, but you know what? We're going to just look at the Saturday night. Okay, I agree. Okay. So Stu says, now I can see it. I'm going to illustrate it for you if you're just watching. Stu says A4, section A4, row 2, seat 15. Section A4? Section A4 is ringside. Okay, so when you're coming down the ramp, when they're coming down the ramp off the stage, right? And they hang that left, section A4 is right there. Stu says the tickets is he said both nights. 46. I can't even say the number. Stu said, look, I'm just going to, I can't say the number. The number is just too high. I'm going to just write the number down. Okay, what's the number again? Stu said it's Jesus. Okay. Oh, I forgot the comma. Got to put the comma. All right. And you know what? I'm not even going to put the change. Stu says that it is this much. Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot the dollar sign because we need to know we're talking about money here. Right? And I'm not one of those people that put the dollar sign on the wrong end. Don't worry. Stu says it's this much. That much to go to WrestleMania to sit front row, $46,000 for both nights. But you know what? That's not a bad price. Because if it's $46,000, $219 divided by 2. That's only $23,000 a night. That's not bad, right? $23,000 a night. And I don't get to, I'm not going to say it. Still got to be PG here. Still got to be PG, at least 13. Yo, bro, that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm not spending that. Fernando says that wrestling was meant for families to come and watch. That's why Vince McMahon always tried to make it affordable. Yeah. For poops and giggles. For poops and ha-has. Piggybacking off of what Fernando just said, right? Fernando said wrestling was meant for families to come and watch. That's why Vince McMahon made it affordable. For poops and ha-has. Looking at WrestleMania 1. That's not WrestleMania 1. That's not WrestleMania 1. For poops and ha-has, WrestleMania 1, the price of the tickets ranged from $10 if you are broke and you can afford nothing else in 1985, 5 months before I was born, you can buy a ticket for $10. So my pregnant mother could have taken me to WrestleMania 1 for $10, but she ain't like wrestling. That's another story. But you know what? If you had it back then, you could sit front row for $100. So we got to put inflation into it, right? Because $1 today, $10 today is not $10 in 1985. I remember having a conversation with a friend and telling them like, yo, you remember when $10, $20 was a lot of money? Now I could lose $20 in the street. I'm like, damn, I lost $20. $20 is not a lot of money. So with inflation, that's $30.23 for the cheap side and $302.28 on the expensive side. WrestleMania today is not WrestleMania 1985. So in honesty, the math really isn't fair, right? It's not really apples to apples overall comparing all the WrestleManias because it's different. You're not buying a ticket. You're not buying a ticket just to an event anymore. You're buying a whole entire travel weekend. Not even a travel weekend. You're buying a weeks-long vacation. That's what you're buying. And it's built around WrestleMania. Here's the real question, right? What feels locked in right now? With 2 months and 3 days until WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas, all we've got is Roman Reigns versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship, and normally that should be enough to have sold out the event. Normally. But everything feels like, we just gotta wait, right? Right? You're looking at, in previous years, in recent years, you had The Rock return as the final boss. You had Cody Rhodes finishing the story. You had the bloodline getting ready to implode. Wrestling felt so hot. Right now, we haven't really gotten past Elimination Chamber yet, and I'm the guy out there saying give WWE a chance. Let's wait until let's wait until 1 week after Elimination Chamber and see how we feel. Because right now, I don't really feel that excited going into WrestleMania. But then again, thinking about it last year, the only thing that was happened was nothing really spectacular happened. We didn't really feel the momentum of WrestleMania 41 until John Cena won the Elimination Chamber. WrestleMania is one of those things where it sells clarity. If the card feels meh, we all just wait. And WWE has conditioned fans. They've conditioned us to, you know what, guys, just hold on. We're going to give you late editions. You know the thing that makes WrestleMania so unique? The thing that makes WrestleMania so unique is that WrestleMania sells tickets and all you know is where it's going to be. There are only two things, right? What does Jess say? 2 things for sure, 1 thing for certain. When you're buying those tickets for WrestleMania, you don't know jack. All you know is how much you spent, where it's going to be, what time the show is going to start, and where you're sitting. That's all you know. That's all you know. You don't know who the main event's going to be. You don't know if Roman Reigns is going to, you don't know if Stone Cold is going to be there. You don't know if The Undertaker's coming back. You don't know if Kane's going to come back and burn everybody. You don't know that. But it's not a bad thing. It's not a slight or anything like that towards the WWE. Why? Because Super Bowl does that. And here I go again talking about fake sports. The Super Bowl does that. The Super Bowl is selling you a ticket saying, hey, I don't know what Super Bowl number we're up to. What is it, 61? Super Bowl 61, right? Super Bowl 61 is going to be played at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. It'll be the 9th Super Bowl hosted in the greater Los Angeles area. And it's supposed to be on Valentine's Day. So in 365 days today, next year, you're going to be able to watch the Super Bowl. But here's the question. Who's playing? People are already getting ready to buy tickets. They're already getting ready to save up money. That's how special the Super Bowl is. That's how special WrestleMania is. WrestleMania sells clarity. If the card feels meh, we'll wait a little bit to see what happens. And WWE has conditioned us to wait for later editions. What if we get Stone Cold Steve Austin? That might pop everything for a little bit, right? Let's go to the chat. Let's see what y'all talking about. Stu says, in a WrestleMania ticket, it shouldn't be more than $5K. That's pushing it. I agree. I'm not willing to pay more than $5K for one night. For one night. I mean, that's pushing it. I'm not willing to pay more than, if I'm paying $5K for one night, I'm sitting up close. I'm sitting up close. I'm not going to pay $5K for 2 nights. I might pay, per night, I may pay $5K, $2,500 each and sit in a decent place. But when I went to MetLife Stadium a couple months ago, caught myself talking about I'm watching SummerSlam, the money that I paid still wasn't even a good seat. Still wasn't a good seat. Maria's here. What's going on, Maria? Fernando says that TKO is risking the future of the business. The future of wrestling needs the children pipelines to survive. If families can't afford to go to live wrestling shows with the kids, you damage the future.
Thank you.
Let's be fair. Let's be fair. Because I don't want to attack the WWE and be totally unfair. We're going to look at if tickets are $200, that's just for me to sit there with my back against the wall. In order for me to bring my son, that is $400, and we still got to get to Las Vegas. Thank God he likes basketball. He likes basketball. I really want him to like wrestling. That's another story for another time. In order for somebody to bring, you can't bring your kids anymore. Pro wrestling is pricing out the families. That's what I feel. Fernando had said that. That's how I feel. I feel like they are pricing out the families. Pro wrestling is no longer the cheap thing that you do on a weekend anymore. Don't get it wrong. Don't get me wrong for a second. WrestleMania in 2026 is not WrestleMania in 2016, 2006, 1996, or 1986. WrestleMania has grown to be a much bigger and global sporting event that requires everybody's attention. So why don't we have some seats that are affordable? I'm not saying for you guys not to, WWE, I'm talking to you. I'm not saying for you guys not to have some seats that are in the upper price that people can afford and they get all these extra perks with them. But what about the people that just want to come and have a great time? Maybe, what if you sold those tickets and made those tickets non-transferable so scalpers couldn't buy them and resell them to somebody at another price? What if those tickets were digital only and you could only buy them from Ticketmaster? Those tickets were $100, because that's the problem, people. That's the problem. The problem is that the tickets get bought by scalpers and scalpers jack up the price. So what if WWE sold these tickets to to their events? They had cheap and affordable tickets. Of course, put them in the nosebleed, let my back touch the wall. That's fine. That's fine. But make them non-transferable. to where they're digital only, no paper tickets, no hard copy tickets, no collector tickets, no none of that. You are just there. And make those tickets, I don't know, reasonable. Make them less than $200. Make it cheaper. I'm not saying to make it a $20 ticket, no. But if you make the ticket maybe $75, maybe $100, just to get people in the building that really want to be there, that's fine. Why the hell not? Let's go back to the chat. Fernando says, my parents hated me watching wrestling as well, too. Look, man, my mother told me that she doesn't ever want me to watch wrestling because she came in the room at Monday Night Raw, during Monday Night Raw, when Goldust slapped Marlena. My mother was not having that. Maria says, I've heard Triple H is feeling the heat with TKO right now. You see, Maria, that I don't know. I mean, I guess they might be putting the pressure on him because they're probably asking him, why isn't a WWE hot enough, right? Because everybody, the reason why, let me tell you guys how corporate America work, right? Because I worked for corporate America for a little bit. There are people that I call bean counters. And the bean counters are the people that sit up on the upper floors of the building. And what the bean counters do is they're not knee deep in the business. All they do is click in an email, look at a spreadsheet, go, oh, WWE's not selling tickets. They look at this year versus last year. They see that the money's down and the money's up, but the sales are down. Why? Why are the sales down? So now they start asking questions. Triple H, you are in charge of creative. Right? You are the guy that's in charge of bringing people in here. Triple H, why is there nobody in here? They start looking at marketing. Marketing. Are you guys marketing effectively? They start looking at the sales teams, right? They start looking at a whole big picture. So even though I don't know, Maria, whether Triple H is feeling the heat right now, I could guarantee you this. There's a lot of questions that was asked to him. Triple H had to answer a lot of questions. Tyrell Jackson, what's going on? Make sure you guys check him out. Then that's the same Tyrell from the Nosebleed Show. Make sure you guys check him out if you like football and other fake sports like soccer, badminton, curling. You know, go and check him out. That's my boy. I'm only roasting. That's my boy. We text. Go check out his channel. Go check. He's a friend of the show. If you go to the playlist, or you go to the home tab of the channel and you scroll all the way down, you'll see his show listed as a friend of the show. When you click subscribe, you make sure you tell him that Big Daddy Trish sent you. Don't tell him that. Tyrell says, lost his message. He says the tickets are way too high for the average fan and it's worse for the international fans. Bro!
Thank you!
He said the tickets are way too high for the average fans and it's worse for the international fans.
Bing bang.
The international fans, not only do they have to buy the tickets to WrestleMania, right? And in their country, the dollar might be most. It might be more, right? So it might cost them, let's say they're coming from Canada. Let's do, oh wait, can I do it on my phone? I probably can. We're going to do a converter, and we are going to convert prices from American. Let's just go to Canada. So if you're going to buy a ticket, let's say you just want to buy the cheapo ticket. Let's say it costs you $250. It's $340 Canadian. If you are a Canadian pro wrestling fan, and you're like, oh, I want to go to Las Vegas. I heard the Americans have such a great time there. It's $340. $340. Now, don't get it wrong. When I go to Canada, and I have Canadian family, my sister's Canadian, my nieces and nephews are Canadian, my brother-in-law is Canadian. I have Canadian family. When I go there, I love spending my money. Why? Because I'll go sit with my sister. I'll buy an $80 meal for me and her. She goes, oh my God, it's so expensive. Ha. No, it's not. It's only $50.
Yeah!
So Terrell's right. The people have to get there, and they're paying for everything in their dollars. They're not paying in American dollars. If somebody's coming from Mexico, like a dollar in Mexico is not a dollar in America. It's not. So yeah, that's definitely a good call out. Chris is back. With his regular, he says WWE is failing. WWE, ESPN is failing. Stu says, I know we can't compare AEW to WWE when it comes to prices, but a second row at AEW's upcoming pay-per-view revelation, God, I can't read. Stu says that the ticket prices, AEW and WWE, you can't compare. But when it comes to a second row seat at AEW's next pay-per-view Revolution, it's $784 for front row. Meanwhile, you can go to Elimination Chamber and spend $6,000. I didn't even do it justice. $6,967. And once they add taxes in there, it's $7,000 to sit front row. Don't get it wrong. Don't get anybody listening to me or watching me, don't get me wrong at all. We cannot deny that the WWE is the hottest act in town right now. WWE is the North Star. They are the leader of the pro wrestling business. But I keep telling you guys, if you are unhappy with the prices that WWE is charging, go check out your indie shows, your local indie show. If you ever want to know where a local indie show is in your area, maybe you should ask me. Maybe what I should do on 830mg.com, that's the website, 830 Media Group. Maybe what I should do is compile a list of different independent pro wrestling companies and their websites and the states that they're in. Because if you guys want to save money, you love pro wrestling, I would like to introduce you to a younger version of me who was wrestling on the indies just hoping to make it big one day. You can see the next Roman Reigns wrestling on the indie show, and you don't have to spend $6,967. You don't. You don't have to spend $7,000. You might spend $25,000, and you can still have enough money to buy a beer, right? If you're looking at $6,000, somebody that makes $6,000. In order for you to make $6,000, right? That let me put that into some to where it makes sense, right? Let's call it round it up to $7,000. For you to make $7,000, you need to make an extra $135 a week in order for you. That's after Uncle Sam puts his hand in your pocket. You need to make an extra $135 a week in order to afford to go to WrestleMania. But WWE had a meeting a couple days ago, and they want to know why ticket sales are low. Let's go to the chat real quick, and we'll get back into the show. Terrell says, good content and affordability is great. Is a great match. Even when the product is bad, but the tickets are affordable, then people still show up. Right now, the content is mediocre and the tickets are way too expensive. Terrell says that he's just seen Powerhouse. Yeah. Thank you for your comment.
Thank you.
So here's what the WWE is doing now, right? And I think Terrell or Fernando, they mentioned it before. WWE they just made a business chess move. And after the meeting and the price strategy and everything else like that before the meeting, WWE is not lowering ticket prices at this moment, other than giving you a short 25% short-term discount from now until February 16th. I don't know how to find the code. I'm just letting you know there's a 25% discount. If you want to go to WrestleMania, buy your tickets down before February 16th. But they're also limiting watch parties within 50 miles. So you're telling me that I can't go to Dave & Buster's or wherever to go watch WWE because I'm within 50 miles of the stadium? So you're telling me that I have to go to the arena. Now, I'm just going to invite my friends. Like back in the day, I used to invite my friends. I used to buy a couple boxes of Domino's pizza, go to Walmart and buy a couple sodas, right? And I'd be like, all right, $20 for everybody to come in. Everybody paid $20. I would sit on the floor, make sure everybody gets the comfy seat in the house, and everybody would get as much pizza and soda as they want. And I would pay for the pay-per-view. That's it. So if WWE is trying to... See, let me tell you why I don't like WWE restricting it, watch parties within 50 miles. Unless they're going to have their own watch party which would be stupid. Because why would I go to the event when I could just go to the watch party? They have the Sphere. What if they did WrestleMania in the Sphere? Sphere? I think I'm saying it right. In the Sphere. And they charge people to come in there. But that wouldn't make sense. They would cannibalize their own show. Why would you go there instead of going there? That would be the only reason why I see that they can restrict it. I mean, granted, it's their intellectual property. They can do whatever they want with it. So, 50 miles, within 50 miles. Let's go back to the map. We're going to Allegiant Stadium. And we're going to go to Google Maps. And where's my little map calculator thingy? I got a little map calculator thingy in the corner. I don't see it anymore. It'll tell you how oh, wait, there it goes. It's all the way at the bottom. 500 feet. Let's center Allegiant Stadium. And within 50 miles? Bro, I don't think this is even right. If I was going from Allegiant Stadium to, granted, there's nothing around Allegiant Stadium, right? Once you get out there, it's a straight desert. They built Las Vegas in the middle of the desert. So that pretty much means that anywhere in Las Vegas, as the kids would say, it's clip. I don't know, did the kids say that? Anywhere in Las Vegas, at all, you're not watching WrestleMania unless it's in the stadium. Yo, that's whack. That is whack. But it's strategic. It's strategic. What it's saying is that, as WWE is saying, that we believe the demand is there. We just need momentum. That's what they're saying. I'm asking you guys a question because you guys know I like asking you questions. And also, we got a survey going on. What's the real reason, in your opinion, why WrestleMania 42 ticket sales are slower? You can lock that in right now. But here's my question. My other question I have for you guys. Answer this one in the chat. Whether you're watching live or on demand, answer this one in the chat. Is holding prices with a semi okay 25% discount confidence, or does it risk looking tone deaf in a tighter economy? That's what I want to know. Let's see. Tyrell says, I've seen Powerhouse Hobbs. Oh, I didn't read the whole thing properly. Terrell says, I've seen Powerhouse Hobbs and Warlow multiple times on the Indies years ago here in Cleveland. I've seen extras used on Raw and SmackDown that were here on indie shows. Bro, you're right. There was, there's been people that have been on my show, that have been on this network, the 830 Wrestling Network. People have been on the 830 Wrestling Network that have been extras on WWE. That's why I like main event conversations with Cheyenne Ortiz. That's why I came up with the idea. Because, yeah, we can interview I can fight to interview big names to see who the WWE or TNA or AEW throws us. But I'm really more interested in showing you the person that you don't know. The person that doesn't get the benefit of WWE having I'm doing this off the top of my head, 8 hours of live programming every week. Where AEW, where they don't have the benefit of getting 4 to 5 hours of live programming every week. To where TNA, to where they have the benefit of getting 2 hours of live TV every week. I want to introduce you to the person who is grinding, who is working, who you don't know. That's Main Event Conversation, hosted by Cheyenne Ortiz. If you haven't watched an episode, there's 4 episodes up right now. You can go check that when you're done with this. Don't go anywhere. Chris says, I still support Triple H in his war with Tony Khan and AEW. Stu says, to the question that I asked, is holding prices confidence, or does it risk looking tone deaf in a tighter economy? Stu says it's tone deaf. Chris says that soon WrestleMania will be 2 weeks live event like the Olympics. Bro, they are trying to make the Royal... People are whispering to make the Royal Rumble 2 nights. I don't want to see a 2-night Royal Rumble. Nah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. I think it's tone deaf. I understand, and this is not a political podcast or vodcast. That's actually a new term that I learned because it's video. So it's a vodcast, whatever. It's not a political YouTube channel. We don't talk about economics here really too tough. I'm not an economics major, right? I'm a techie. I'm a graphic designer. I'm a video editor. I'm all of that. I'm not an economist, and I'm not a political analyst. But with the current climate in America right now for what it costs for everything, they said in 2025 that the average American household spent an extra $1,000 on tariffs due to tariffs. Now, if we are feeling this, don't get it wrong. Businesses have ways that they can write things off. If we are feeling this, WWE is surely feeling it as well too, and has to inflate their prices, right? In case you didn't know, I hold WWE still a little bit more accountable and still say that they're kind of tone deaf. And here's the reason being. Places are looking for people are looking for WrestleMania. They are looking for the WWE. Oh God. They are looking for the WWE to be in their town. They pay big dollar to get WrestleMania there. What's going on, Grandmaster Solus? The topic that we are talking about today is WrestleMania broken? They had a meeting at WWE headquarters or wherever they did it a couple of weeks ago, and they're figuring out why tickets sales are not where they are in the same exact arena where they were last year this time. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the why. We're talking about the why. We are talking about why also it costs so much damn money to go to WWE. What I'm saying is that WWE gets petitioned by local municipalities. Hey, we want WWE. The reason why they want WWE in their town, they want WrestleMania, they want Survivors, they want all these 2-night events in their arena, in their neighborhood. Why? Because they're going to get SmackDown. They're going to get the benefit of the PLE. They can get the benefit of Raw on Monday. They can even get the benefit of NXT on Tuesday. So the way that the whole entire thing is structured is now because the local municipality gets to collect extra tax money. The local municipality gets to collect tax money from the tickets. Some of them have tax money on the hotels. Some of them they'll collect tax money and revenue from people buying tickets and flying into the airport. And then people are buying food. There's taxes on that as well too. People are going to buy t-shirts and other merchandise. There's taxes on that too. And then the people in the area get to work, collect money, and get taxed on that as well too. So if I was the mayor, the governor of a state, I'm saying to my mayor, how do we get WWE in town? And you know what? And matter of fact, once we have this conversation, let's figure out how do we get the Super Bowl in town. Because if you can have the Super Bowl and WrestleMania in the same exact calendar year, oh golly, you've got money. It's great for the economy. It's great for the people. There are a lot of people who are not working who will benefit from that 5-day work week. There's people that they have to choose local to help run wires and do other kinds of things in the show. But with all that said, WWE could say, if you want us, we need you to subsidize us a little bit more so we can still offer affordable tickets. There's a lot of hands in the pockets of the WWE. A lot of people want $1 from the WWE. WWE just has to say, hey, you know what? We need 10%. We need 10%. How many people sat at WrestleMania 41? WrestleMania 41 attendance. They had 58,000 fans on night 1 and 60,000 fans on night 2. So 58,000 would be 5,000 seats. Let's just say they say we're going to make 6,000 seats affordable. I want you guys to subsidize 6,000 seats. They would do it for the WWE because they want the WWE in their town. Let's see. We got a chat. Women haven't main evented in 5 years. That's from Stu. With Bianca Rhea, Io should have been night one last year. Yeah. Stu says, yeah, the Rumble doesn't need to be 2 nights, mainly because they won't even give the woman a Mania main event anytime soon.
Yeah!
Grandmaster Solus, never seen you here before, bro. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and tell people this is not a dirty secret what we're doing here. We're growing. We're on the road. 830 Wrestling Network. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel, we're rebranding. We're rebranding. This thing here that started as a crazy guy talking to himself. I'm not the crazy guy. The crazy guy's over there. The crazy guy talking to himself. This thing is blowing up and it's growing. We're almost at 1,000. Thank you to all of you guys that have subscribed. Grandmaster says that last year's WrestleMania only broke even. Stu says Endeavor is not a thing anymore. It's now TKO. Yeah. Grandmaster Soul says Endeavor is losing money with WWE and UFC. WWE and UFC are both up for sale by Endeavor. See, I don't know if that's true. He said the Saudis want to buy WWE but haven't matched the amount that Endeavor wants yet. See, I don't know if that's true. Tyrell said that happened when Santa Clara, San Jose, WrestleMania 31, March 2015, and Super Bowl 50 was in February of 2016. You see? He would know. I don't watch Super Bowl. I can't tell you where the Super Bowl's been. I don't even know where the Super Bowl is, and I don't know where the Super Bowl plays. I don't know. I don't know who plays there. So thank you, Terrell. Shout out to you.
Thank you.
Grandmaster Soul says WWE's rating. Chris says that Saudi Arabia will soon own the WWE. Grandmaster Soul says WWE's ratings are all-time lows. WWE attendance are all-time lows. They are running the least shows they have had. Less shows equal less people, equal higher prices, common sense. You're right. They got to make the money up from somewhere. Grandmaster Soul says subscribe now. And yes, my first time here, just saw you live. Hey, we're live all the time here. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and every now and then I'm sneaking in like a little Saturday show. So you never know. So make sure you turn on that bell notification so that when it pops up, you go, oh, there's another show today. But look, rewatching parties, right? WWE's restricting watch parties. Why is it? To protect the gate or to hurt the community buzz? I think for me, as a person who doesn't gather, I used to go watch WWE pay-per-views, PLEs, pay-per-views at the time, at the Hooters in Orlando. It's not there anymore. It was the Hooters in Orlando on Kirkman Drive, right around the corner from Universal Studios. And in order for me to do that, I had to sit around and watch football all day long. Football wasn't my thing. But my friend said, hey, they like football, and they told me, hey, if we all get there early, we'll get a good seat. Not really my thing, but I still went because I really want to watch wrestling. The camaraderie between the people that are there, cheering for their teams, booing the other teams, that's the same as that camaraderie I saw in wrestling. And for us to build that community and for them to take that community away from us, I didn't hear that the NFL said that they are not going to allow people to watch the Super Bowl within 50 miles of wherever they played this year. I didn't hear that one bit. Grandmaster Soul said, I can only make Saturday shows, so please do more Saturday shows.
Thank you.
Saturday shows are special. So if you are here for Saturday shows, they're very special. I appreciate you being here. But don't you ever worry. All right, Solus? Don't ever worry. Because if you miss the show live, it's always on demand. You can always go back and watch. You can still comment. So live is one experience, but a secondary experience is watching it on demand. And I'll be honest, every show that I do here live, I actually go back and listen to it or watch it on demand while I'm going to work. Yes, I am not only the president, but I am also a client. So WrestleMania has become a streaming event, right? It's become a streaming event. Back in the day, what happened was that you bought WrestleMania. You bought the rights to WrestleMania through pay-per-view. You paid whatever you paid. Now, we already have it. Whether it's through Peacock, which is not here anymore, the WWE Network, Netflix, ESPN, however. The urgency is different, right? So fans are thinking, I'll just wait to see the final card because I'm already paying for ESPN to watch the sports. I'm already paying for Netflix to watch the movies. I'm already paying for Peacock to watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So why is there any urgency for me to run out of my house to go ahead and buy a ticket to WrestleMania when I know for the low price of whatever they charge, I can stay and watch it in my house. So the mindset is, I'll just wait to see the final card. I'll buy a last minute ticket. Do I think that WrestleMania is not going to sell out? No, I don't think that. And WWE knows that as well too. So what they do is they lower the price. And I can imagine on Monday Night Raw this Monday, you're probably going to see something that's going to knock your socks off and make you say, you know what? I need to go buy a ticket. But I don't think that they're not going to sell out. There's going to be tickets that are bought. The mindset shift around WrestleMania, it matters. WrestleMania used to be, I got to be there. Now it's, I'll see. And it's subtle, but it's also powerful. One thing to understand is that WWE is financially hotter than ever. But the Aurora, it's emotional. Look, WWE's got historic gates. They got the Netflix era buzz. They got record-breaking headlines. Is what we're seeing right now everything just leveling out? Right? We've soared so high into the air that now we're just at a cruising altitude. Is that where we are? Like last year around WrestleMania time, you can tell when the WWE has a big house because they have the smaller stage. You don't have the huge screens all the way up to the top, right? You got the nice low stage where the wrestlers just walk out. So WWE can say every single event, yeah, we've made more money in this gate. Yeah, if your tickets were $10 last year, but this year you're charging $11. That essentially means that you made more money this year than last year. You can say, oh my God, the gates broke the headlines. Or, when I asked you, is WWE just leveling out? Here's another thought. Are we entering a new phase where WrestleMania has to earn the urgency again? I don't know. If WrestleMania ever becomes let's wait and see instead of I have to be here, what does that mean long term for WWE? Tyrell says the NFL got out of their blackout rule back in 2012 and 2013. Oh, so it was something that they did. Okay. Grandmaster Solo said less Saudi ownership of everything in USA is a good thing. Look, man, I think that more things should be owned in America. It should be more affordable to own in America. But like I said, this is not an economy channel. It's not a politics channel. So, if we ever meet somewhere one day, we could all sit around and talk about it. But let me tell you this, guys. Let me look at the chat. Okay, hold on. We got to go look at the survey. I asked you in the survey, what is the real reason WrestleMania 42 ticket sales are slower? And 75% of the audience says that the ticket prices are too high. Too high. 25% says that Mania hype isn't automatic anymore. Nobody feels that it's Vegas or the economy, and nobody feels that there's no must-see main event. So Roman and CM Punk are doing it, but the ticket prices are just too high, in your opinion. That's what I can say. Look at the last comment from Solis. He says, I disagree, Tristan. 300 plus shows a year to 100 plus shows a year. How can they be record breakers? Hey, that's what they said. They said, oh my God, this Monday Night Raw has made the most money it's ever made in Saskatchewan, Wisconsin. I don't know if Saskatchewan, Wisconsin is a real place. But look at this. This isn't about panic. This isn't about collapse. I think this whole entire thing is about psychology. WWE held a meeting, not because they are failing, but because WrestleMania is too important to assume. WrestleMania doesn't need to sell out tomorrow, but it does need to feel inevitable. And right now, it feels strategic, not inevitable. We did it. Is WrestleMania broken? That was the question. Well, I want to thank Solis, Tyrell Jackson. I want to thank Stu, Fernando, Stu. Thank you so much, Stu. Fernando. Look, for those of you that joined late, Fernando has to go meet the boyfriend, his daughter's first boyfriend. So let's say a prayer from him. Let's hope that it all goes great, because I don't think there's any YouTube in jail, and we'd miss having Fernando here. That's it. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of the Tristan Law Show. If you like what I did here today, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. This is the place where you can voice your opinions and you don't have to worry about being judged. As long as you're respectful and you're being a part of the family, I thank you. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I'm Tristan Law. This is the Tristan Law Show, and I'll see you on Monday. Call me, 973-826-0101. Send me an email, tristanlawshowmedia@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Follow those lines, we'll make it this time. Blurry street lights, work as a guide to memories that we're making tonight. Oh yeah, we'll make it tonight.